Well, hello again, Crossings family. I wanted to share a confession with you guys. As I've been thinking through my life last couple of weeks, I've kind of found some discouragement going on, and I think one of the reasons for that is I really thought all as we've been going through this pandemic that maybe by the fall, things will be back to normal. Well, we're getting closer and closer to the fall, and it's just becoming more and more obvious. We're still going to be having a whole lot of precautions, a whole lot of closings, more and more things we see even getting canceled now. And we realize COVID-19 is going to be with us for a while. I think the reason this bothers and discourages me is because I had all of my own plans already set. And a lot of those plans are getting thwarted the further and further we go through this pandemic. It kind of made me start to think of a lesson the Lord has taught me different times in my life, and I bet He's taught you that as well. A lot of times when we hear the word no from God, when He closes a door, when He says, no, I'm not going to let you do that. No, it's not the right time. The main reason He says no to us is because He has a better yes. There's something else He has in mind, even better than what we ever could have planned or tried to do in our lives. You know, it made me think of a time this happened in the Apostle Paul's life. You know, he had a thriving ministry. He had been radically converted. You probably know that story. And then for almost 20 years, he had gone around as a missionary, planting churches, seeing many, many people saved. He had planted churches in multiple countries on different continents. He had written parts of the New Testament. The Lord was using him in amazing ways. And then all of a sudden, he's arrested. He's put in prison. He's transferred to Rome. And all this freedom that he had enjoyed to plant churches and advance the gospel, that freedom was taken away. What's interesting, and the passage I wanted to share with you today was from Philippians chapter 1. He's in Rome at this point, and he's writing back to a church he had planted, and this is what he tells them. Philippians 1:12. Now I want you to know, brothers, that what has happened to me has actually served to advance the gospel. As a result, it's become clear throughout the whole palace guard and to everyone else that I'm in chains for Christ. And because of my chains, most of the brothers in the Lord have been encouraged to speak the word of the Lord more courageously and fearlessly. It's an incredible statement Paul makes. Guys, I want you to know something. All this bad stuff you've been hearing, my arrest, my time in prison, being shipwrecked even on my transport to Rome, even now I write this with chains on my wrist. It's actually worked out for a better yes, a better good. God is using me to advance the gospel with the very guards of the emperor's palace in Rome. Not only that, he said, you know what? Other believers have seen the courage God gave me, and they've gotten courageous and fearless. Even in the face of persecution, they're not quiet. They're speaking out. They're sharing the love of Christ with their neighbors. He's even using me now to write portions of the Bible. You know, Paul had been in prison almost 3 years by the time he wrote the book of Philippians. The first 2 of those years had been in the town of Caesarea, which is in Israel. We almost know nothing about those 2 years. No books of the Bible are written. We don't know anything about any ministries going on. And I've often wondered, I wonder if those were pretty discouraging times for Paul too. I wonder if at the beginning of this quarantine and isolation he experienced in prison, if there were some periods of discouragement he faced. But one thing we do know, as he comes out of that time period, he is able to see and share with us God has something better in store. That's my message for us today. Maybe you're discouraged like I am as you kind of look into the future and see this fall, maybe this winter, things seem to be on the same trajectory they have been. Maybe we need to be asking a different question, not just what can't we do, but what can we do? What new doors is God opening? What new opportunities is He giving to us? And what better yes is He offering to us in our lives? Maybe that's in your home. Maybe that's continuing to be able to invest in the most important relationships in your life, with a spouse, with children, grandchildren. Maybe that's with neighbors down the street who are also at home all the time. Maybe that's just personal communion with Him. And you just have more time on your hands to be able to sit before the Lord and say, Lord, what have you been wanting to tell me that maybe I've just been too busy to listen to and hear? What a great prayer for us to pray as we go through this time in our lives. I pray that we will be able to say, I want you to know, brothers, that what we're going through, what's happening to us now, has actually served to advance the gospel. Let's pray this for one another, and we look forward to having you worship with us at Crossings Community Church.